We have so many. Oh shit! The goddamn names. Folks, take two. We have so many like overlays now, you know.
Yeah, I see it.
And when I was scrolling, then it was like kind of frantic. I'm not gonna lie, I feel rusty. It feels like it's been a long time. Jaychele, we are back for the free agents.
Oh,
How are
God.
you?
I'm good. I think it's hilarious that the chat gets hyped every single time we restart the intro, like it never happened
Yeah.
before.
They love the countdown. You know, what's interesting about the countdown is that is just in there when you get StreamYard.
Yeah.
And I don't believe any other platform in the world uses it as a sort of comedic effect, but
I
we
doubt
do.
it.
Right?
Yeah. Do you like Christian Cage's countdown at the beginning of his music?
It's okay. I'll always remember it for when he debuted and they did the countdown. People didn't recognize that was what he used to have in TNA, so they just assumed it was an actual countdown rather than the fact that it was clearly Christian Cage. He actually is wrestling tonight, Jaychele.
On Rampage. Ethan Page versus Christian Cage on Rampage.
They actually kind of sounds awesome, not gonna lie. It should be really good. So
somebody gave me a compliment in the chat and I can bring it on screen now. I'm gonna show you guys my
oh shit. Jaychele's got the same power I have now. This is very scary.
Oh my god, I'm very excited.
Now, was it a choice to do that, you know, to kind of focus on your hair today while we do a show about Cesaro, who obviously famously great head of hair on him, huh?
Well, sure, I guess you can say so. I was going to straighten my hair, but I was too lazy, so I just did it with my fingers.
I used to. Do you remember when the distraction? I used to have the long hair.
Yeah.
Don't know how you guys do that. No clue.
It's very easy.
It's not. It's very bad. any dudes in the chat that have felt that it's different life. Now, I want to lead with this actually, and Bobby brings it up. I'm glad he did. The big swan of you, was it an hour ago you posted it, right?
Yeah, it just came out. So
yes,
go check that out. I'm also 1 subscriber away from 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So
hang on a second. Let's see if I'm subscribed.
Oh my god. Thank you so much.
Okay, this could be a real moment here, folks.
Oh my god.
Okay. I am now subscribed. You should have hit the 100 mark.
Oh
folks,
my god.
History here live on the Late Night Grin. Today we are talking about Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro. I have a lot of scenarios here, but first, has anything actually happened in free agency this week, or is it just a big Cody kind of debate? Is that all?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just Cody still.
What do you make of this story? It's been really kind of puzzling, especially this last couple of days.
Well, I may have some insider knowledge on why it's puzzling. But it seems like it's not that much. I'll explain to you later, but it seems like different places are getting information from different places, which makes sense why the reports are contradicting or do not fit together. But I mean, I guess it just gives you the bigger picture. You can just see both sides of the situation.
Without giving away anything that you can't say, what is your gut feeling on where Cody will be here in a couple months?
WrestleMania.
Yeah. Me too, quite frankly. I know nothing. Jaychele can confirm I know nothing. I never do. But I would say that my read on it is that he's just chilling for a little bit and he's going to be in here soon.
He wants some time with his baby.
Yeah, that's my read on it too. But, you know, God bless Cass. He's reporting otherwise. So
O'Neill's scoop was about Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss wasn't at Raw. Wrong.
Yeah, that was interesting. Okay, I'm going to tell a Bob story here. Because I don't know if I've told this. I actually don't know if I should tell this, but I've been off for 3 days, so fuck it. You know when the Steve Austin news broke about, like, you know,
God
Oh God,
bless.
am I back? Am I back?
Yeah.
I froze. Sean and the wrestling media folks were doing the eye emojis and like the oh my God, there's news coming.
Yeah.
And Bob texts me, Cody Rhodes is leaving AEW.
No.
So I tweeted a GIF of Cody Rhodes, and then the Steve Austin story was posted. And I was like, Bob, you fucking goon! Now that you made me do, I look an idiot. Well, the next morning, I woke up and Cody Rhodes had left AEW. So Bobby, he knows what he's doing. Don't sleep on young Bobby as a scoopster. That's what I'm saying.
Young Bobby.
Yeah, young Bobby. Yeah, that
Can
would
that
be
be
a
his
Netflix
rap
show.
name?
Oh, that rules. That is fucking awesome. Yes, let's just say yes. Bob's one of those guys who, like, I very much can't imagine Bob listening to music. Like, could you imagine, like, Bob, like, driving along with, like, I don't know, man. I don't know what he listens to. I don't know.
NPR.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, could you imagine him, like, is he a head nodder? He ain't a singer, right? He's a head nodder.
Yeah.
All right. Glad we discovered that. So anyway, I think that's all happening in free agency.
Well, Bobby. Please tweet that at him. And just let him be confused. Yeah.
So, folks, here's the deal. We're not going to talk about the big news of the week with Ring of Honor here. I think it's fair to say, Jaychele, you and I are probably going to cover that pretty closely in the coming weeks and months as this thing takes shape. But, I'm going to talk about a little bit on the Grin tonight. If you want to know my take on that, I'm actually going to do the full paywall plug here. $1, sign up. There's a whole lot of content there. Tonight, we're going to be doing a whole show, Rampage review, Revolution preview, and the Ring of Honor talk that Shoot and I are going to go pretty deep on. So, a lot. By the way, I saw that you did an appearance on the Dynamite right at the end there.
That's my favorite thing now. You guys give me access to the StreamYard so I can come in whenever I want. If I'm awake, I might come in tonight.
There you go. And you did this deal. And Jack Crosby like he was going to punch someone in the face. He looks so mad. He's an angry guy, isn't he?
Me and Jack Crosby had an amazing conversation. I think me and him are going to be friends. He didn't know I was 17 also. So I feel like you guys left out a crucial piece of information when you were updating him on the team.
Do you want me to just send him a fact file?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You get new employees, you send them the PDF of their credentials.
I don't talk to Jack like I just, I'd call him a piece of shit every once in a while and then I leave it at that. Other than when he wants to do a show, which he did on Wednesday. So there you go. Today we're talking about Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, so on and so forth. His contract expired. What are we looking at now? A week ago? 8 days ago? It's it's around that, right? And this is a really fun one because we're on a pay-per-view weekend, and I think there are some openings for old Claudio at this pay-per-view.
Possibly.
Now, where would you like to start here? Because there's actually been a little bit of debate. I know that Denise kind of talked about him going to Impact, and some people want to do New Japan. Like, are we both AEW again, or are you going to zig a little bit here?
Yeah, I have AEW/ROH. Interesting enough now, because now I just got to put them in the same category, I guess.
Okay, that's fun. Let's start on the AEW side of things.
Okay.
Let's kick this off with your first kind of Grin employees, your first kind of idea or outline, or that kind of thing.
Yeah, my first idea is that he kind of goes into a producer role at AEW. Not that he doesn't have matches, you know what I mean, but I feel like he has a lot of interesting and unique knowledge, that he could be able to apply to the roster. I don't know exactly if he's interested in doing something like that, but many wrestlers, once they're done in the ring, they want to take some time off and still be a part of the business and do backstage stuff. So that's where I could kind of see him doing some stuff at AEW. That's the first avenue that I had. I feel like that's actually pretty likely, judging by Cesaro's character. I don't know how much longer he wants to work for. I don't think he has a world championship run left in him at this age. But yeah.
It is worth noting that he is 41 now. And he looks so great that you forget that, right? Because he's aged so gracefully in front of us. But I agree with you. I think it's something he will do for sure. And he's definitely going to be a player coach wherever he goes because he has such knowledge, as you referenced. Now, in my mind, I see 3 potential debuts for Claudio at this pay-per-view on Sunday. 3. I will start with the one I like the most, and I've talked to you about before.
Yes.
Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley.
Yes.
Him being the finish of that match and costing shooters in the chat. Him being the finish of that match and costing Moxley being the first pick for Danielson's team. You know, if you look towards a world in which the team is Danielson, Claudio, Garcia, and Yuta.
And probably now Gresh, maybe. I think Gresh is more likely than ever now.
I mean, there's no reason it can't go across both promotions, right? If you and I had our say, I think that'd be super exciting. I think that's the route that makes the most sense for him at the pay-per-view. And inevitably, you get to the tag match, which I tweeted about that got me like 3,000 likes, which was weird, which is Mox and King.
How do you feel about getting engagement like that, Joe?
I'm not used to it. Mox and King versus Claudio and Danielson. I mean, seriously, people, they liked my tweet. They were so into that, you know?
Joe, I don't know why you think people wouldn't like your tweet like that.
Well, you know, my Twitter is
Alex!
There you go.
Hi, Alex.
My Twitter is unconventional, you know? That's what I've been told. It's unconventional. Believe it or not many members of wrestling media log on and tweet about Roderick Strong backbreakers in the late hours of the night. I do. So I'm not used to people liking my tweets. That's all.
Did you promote anything? Like, did you promote the Late Night Grin?
No.
Joe, I got to teach you how to do this stuff. You got to capitalize on your engagement.
I always hate that though. You know when you see a really funny tweet and you click on it, it's like, here's my, MySpace. It's like, go fuck yourself. I don't want to see your MySpace. I want to see this meme, you know?
Well, I don't give a fuck. Follow me. Support my shit. You've already liked my thing.
But it's different. Like, you actually have, like, there's stuff that you do that's like a thing. When it's just people being like, follow me on Instagram, it's like, well,
that's weird.
Man. I don't know who you are. Yeah,
take advantage.
Yeah, it's different. Anyway.
I don't know what I'm doing, but if Britt wins, I'm going to have to rant somewhere.
I don't know what I'm doing for that yet either. We should probably consider that, right? It's like
we should
3 days away.
Think about this after. Yeah.
I'm sure it's fun.
Oh God.
Yeah, seriously, that tag match, right? Danielson and Claudio versus Mox and Kingston. That's as good as it gets in that kind of realm. That immediately comes to mind. Your thoughts on putting Danielson with Claudio? What do you think?
I think it's a natural fit. I think that's one of the most natural ways to bring him in. I feel like the TNT title stuff kind of doesn't feel unnatural, but it wouldn't seem like a good place to bring him in. I feel like you can just establish him first, and if he wants to do a TNT title thing, go for it, whatever. I just think he has more value than that right now.
I agree. I think there's something to be said with a guy like this, who we all know how good of a wrestler he is. I do think there's something to be said for bringing him in an angle, right? Like an actual story where he can be a player rather than just being another good wrestler on the card. I will say that I wouldn't go as far as say I expect this. I think I've got a chance this one. I do think there's a chance we see him here this weekend. Now, again, I'll be very honest. I don't have my possibilities because it isn't really exciting. It wouldn't shock me at all if he re-up with WWE this week, next week.
Don't say that. Don't.
It wouldn't. It just.
Joe,
it wouldn't surprise me.
We don't manifest bad energy over here. Well, only positive.
We do that all the time. That's exactly what we do.
You guys do that. Okay. I bring the positive energy unless it's regarding Britt Baker.
Or Chris Jericho.
He blocked me. Did you see that?
Oh, he did. Oh,
celebration.
What did you tweet about him?
I don't know. He probably vanity searched. I called him racist multiple times. It might have been.
I'll be honest. When I saw the headline that he had trademarked Sports Entertainer, I pumped my fist. I was so happy. I think that is fucking awesome. I'm sorry,
like Oracle?
Yeah, it just. By the way, Oracle he's on fire, isn't he? That he's becoming a full-on a character and an icon out there in the wrestling media. So anyway, back to Claudio Castagnoli.
We're just here to put over our guys. That's all.
Yeah, we should put ourselves over more though.
I get in trouble when I do it. People think I have an ego, which I do, but
you do.
Yeah.
You do. You wouldn't be on the team if you didn't have an ego. We all have an ego.
I like to win.
This team of ours is very much a juggling act of ego and rash personalities. You see Shoot in the chat being demanded that he gets put over. so on and so forth. Yeah, I think this is a real thing that could happen because that Danielson-Moxley match, Jaychele, what do you think is going to happen in this match? Where do you think the finish is of this one?
Lots of blood.
Wow.
I okay, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I mean they're friends, so fine. Jon Moxley is like the Nick Gage of AEW, right?
Mm.
So every time I see him, I expect blood and bloody murder.
Yeah.
And I see Bryan Danielson, and he bleeds a lot.
He does, yeah.
Not afraid to bleed. He's catching up for old time. So lots of blood, lots of violence, and I really think Danielson wins here.
Now, I agree with you, but do you agree with my assessment that would suggest something happens in the finish? Because I don't think Bryan's just beating him, right? I think.
Yeah, it has to. If it's not Cesaro, it's one of the guys like Yuta,
Garcia,
yeah, or Lee.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Okay, I have another pay-per-view scenario, but first I will throw the ball back to you here. Jaychele, what else do you have for Cesaro or Claudio in AEW?
I had a match for him. Am I not supposed to do that yet?
No, you do. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know how you do this, but I think you have Cesaro debut, right? Whatever. Instead of having his opponent be known, I think you have his opponent be a mystery opponent. Follow me here. Mm-hmm. He debuts. He says, I want to face the best this roster has. I want to face somebody who can go and who isn't afraid of violence or whatever. Then guess who comes out? Miro.
Oh.
And Cesaro gets to swing Big Miro.
Who wins though?
I don't care.
I keep forgetting about Miro.
Big
we
Miro.
Need Miro. We need him back, right?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, that's fair. I have another debut here. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
This one doesn't make sense to me, but it pops me. So right now on TV, there's this whole Kingston Jericho thing playing out, and the whole point of this program right now is if you beat me, I will say you have my respect. And that is interesting because once upon a time, many years ago, in Shikara, which feels like a different planet in many ways, Claudio and Kingston had a very famous match, and the stipulation, Jaychele, was it was called I respect you match or a respect match, whatever they framed it. And the loser would have to say that he respects the winner.
Yeah.
And I just think it's been really interesting the way that they've stressed that point with Jericho. And I think we both know that Eddie Kingston is a great big fucking dork, and that would pop him tremendously to give that little tribute to a program from 2010. I'm not saying that will be what happens. However, if Claudio debuted on Sunday and immediately cost Eddie Kingston, I think most of the live crowd would be able to explain it to themselves because they've actually got like this weird buzz online about
it's
them
more than weird. They fucking at least Eddie is working the shit out of this.
Yes.
So I love it for them.
He's working it so well that the fact that Cesaro isn't working it doesn't affect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really think there's a chance that we get that here. And my only issue with it is it doesn't feel like you'd put him like in a circle, right? So then how do you do the Jericho thing? Do you just separate it? I don't know. But
say fuck Jericho.
Yeah, you could do that. I don't know how that would really fit into the television program, but I do see your point. Now, I keep pitching him here in groups. Anything for my weekly suggestion that he could be in the AHFO?
Only if he has a good match with Andrade, I guess.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. Did they ever wrestle in WWE? I bet they wrestled like 10 times and neither of us remember any of it.
That sounds like the Thunderdome.
Yeah, let me actually look this up. I am intrigued by. It feels like on Sunday, the Matt Hardy thing is going to come to a head, doesn't it? It feels like Matt's going to get thrown out of the group this weekend.
Oh, hold on. Don't put Jericho stink on Claudio. No.
It's my fault.
We don't separate.
I will say, Jaychele, and I don't want to.
He still got till Wednesday.
I will say that was really interesting on Dynamite when Santana and Ortiz kind of they showed some love to Jericho a little bit.
I panicked. Everybody on Twitter calmed me down. They just said that it's gonna set up a fuck finish. So
I don't know, because it's like if they cost Jericho, that feels like against the story they're telling. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. Okay, I have searched here on the world famous cage match for Andrade and Cesaro matches. My reports show me that they have wrestled. They've been in the same ring 5 times. One was a Royal Rumble. They had a live event match with Xavier Woods in a triple threat.
That's an odd triple threat.
There was a championship gauntlet where they may have not even been at the same time. There was an 11-man Rumble on a live event, and they had a singles match on a live event. So they never worked a singles match on TV. Do you know the other weird one of them with Cesaro? He's never wrestled AJ Styles on TV in WWE. Why? Why do they do this stuff?
Why do you hate us?
It's so strange.
Remember when Vince McMahon said he listens to the fans and then said that he doesn't listen to anything on social media?
Okay, can I talk about this a little bit?
Yeah.
I actually need to talk about this a little bit. So, I didn't watch any of that interview.
Me either.
Because, like, you know, I had other shit to do, and by that I mean very little, but I just didn't want to watch that interview. God, no. Listen to me, okay? And I know you know this, I know the chat knows this, but I need to get off my chest. If you spend every day of every week talking about how much you hate that dude, and you sat there for an hour and a half, whatever it was, listening to him talk to Pat McAfee of all people, and got yourself all mad about it, chill, man. Please respect yourself, respect your time. I have no life at all, and I didn't waste my time on that. You know? I cannot believe how much this has filled our timeline, Jaychele. Seriously, can you... People have got a... Good Lord, man. Anyway.
I refuse to listen to that. Why do you guys want to put Jericho with Claudio? I don't like that. Joe, you see what you did?
Okay, I'll do better. Forget the groups. Let's bring him in with Regal instead. How's that, huh?
That's good. We'll do that.
Regal is his mouthpiece?
No, Regal and Joe. Boom,
there you
boom.
Go. There you go. Just all of the wrestlers I like. Let's do it. It's just exclusively pop mate. There you go. So what is the situation with the ladder match on Sunday? Is it 7?
I tweeted about this and I was very confused. And apparently people are saying that he did say 7. Excalibur said 7, but we'll find out, I guess, tonight.
I think you and I agree that if it's 7, it's Swerve as the 7th. Yeah. If it's not Swerve, is it Claudio? If it's not, I think we both think it is, but
I guess.
Okay.
I want Swerve more, and I've had some conversations with people who say that like it can't be Swerve because Wardlow is gonna win or Keith is gonna win. Swerve wins. Swerve wins. Swerve wins title too.
I don't think Keith's winning. I think he's probably doing a program with Team Taz, right?
He's gonna have a match with Hobbs, and Ricky's gonna be there. I'm gonna start drooling.
Okay, fair.
Do you not like big meaty men slapping meat, Joe?
No, I do. I probably won't be drooling. That'd probably be a strange reaction we have.
Well, two black men having a match with each other.
See, again, this is where this becomes a problem, okay? See, what you just said was that's why you will be drooling.
Yeah.
But to the just general person that's flicking through these deals, they may think you were saying that's the exact reason I will not be drooling. You see how sometimes like I suddenly take this sort of contrasting position. It's very alarming. I don't know.
Sorry, Joe. I don't mean to do that.
That's fine. That's fine. Like, you remember that time when I said, okay, who would be, your top heel on the big board? And you go, well, for me, it would be all black people. But I know about you. And I was like, hey, hang on a second. Who am I picking over here?
And then I started listing black people.
Just... Yeah, like I wasn't allowed. I was like, oh, shit. He's good shit. Seriously. I think it's Swerve. I think he may well win it too. If it isn't, it's worth knowing for Claudio. The last thing I have on an AEW front, and then I'll go back to you, is I don't think this is going to happen, but I have to reference it because everyone's so excited. If somehow, some way, Chris Hero wants to wrestle again,
God bless,
then yeah, you obviously do it, right?
Yeah.
But I'll be totally transparent in saying I don't really know.
I think he's happy doing his seminars and stuff right now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like he's rushing back, right? And if it happens, it happens, but I don't really expect it. Now, Jaychele, anything else on the AEW front for Claudio?
Yeah, I have a couple things actually. You know how Tony always goes, "We have a huge surprise debut on Dynamite."
He does it every week.
Fucking do that, I guess. Gives a fuck. You know, it works.
I do. You know, you said the Miro thing. I think there is something to be said, and this is you'd only do this once, but it would interest me. Could you imagine if they just said 2 debut signings are going to wrestle each other on Wednesday, and the graphic was just 2 mystery men?
Good lord.
I think with the way that us dorks are now, people would get so excited.
Oh, we would.
You'd
have to fantasy booking the fuck out of it.
And you'd have to pick the right people, because if it's someone that's underwhelming, people will roll their eyes, and you don't want to beat top stars. But like imagine it was. Forget they bought Ring of Honor for a second, okay? In fact, no, I've got one. Here we go. I still think Josh Alexander's going back to Impact, but here's what I'm going to say. Imagine they did that, and it was Claudio versus Josh Alexander. And Josh could lose that match and not really lose anything, right? I think people would go crazy for it. And it could just be a weird thing you do every once in a while. I don't know. Intrigued me.
I'm trying to think of the men that
you could definitely do it on the women's division side, right?
Yes. Oh, 1,000,000%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of men that aren't problematic that would be good to put over there. Nobody from Control Your Narrative.
Well,
moving on.
Did you see my guy's big quote this week?
Joe.
Yes, Joe. Samoa Joe. Did you see that?
What did
you see what match he wants to do? Oh, you didn't see it?
Kenny.
Powerhouse Hobbs was his first match that came to mind.
Oh.
You talk about pump. I raised my arms out in the air. I cheered.
I thought we were going to Control Your Narrative, Joe. You started making me sweaty.
I don't do that. I'm one of the few short-haired.
You know, somebody on Twitter followed me, and they were Control Your Narrative's #1 fan. Did they follow you too?
No, that sounds
I blocked them immediately.
You blocked them?
I was like, I'm not dealing with this bullshit. It was probably a troll, but I was like, no way.
I have to say, that whole thing is wow. It gets more incredible every day, Jaychele. It really does. Anyway,
moving on. Mm-hmm. You could also just do something at Double or Nothing if he wants to wait, if he wants some time off, if he wants to do something as a part of the Casino Battle Royal. There's always that too. I don't know if they'll have somebody bigger for that by then, but whatever it is, that's cool too. Yeah. A lot of this, another part of this idea that I had about ROH depends on the structure that they create within that company. But I think there's a lot of value in bringing him in and having him work with some of the younger guys, Brock Anderson, Lee Johnson, Lee Moriarty, Garcia, all of them, a rotating cast of younger guys down in ROH, letting just have some good matches.
I think, and this is where you and I think are actually we're in the same lane with this Ring of Honor stuff. I think you and I may see this as a bigger deal than anyone else.
Yep.
So I'm going to get into this more on the Grin tonight, and then you and I can do something next week after, whatever. But I kind of think this is an opportunity to do something quite wild. We've been asking for so long about the third promotion and what that looks like. And I think with the resources that Ring of Honor has now, you can quite easily make it the third promotion just like that by being, related to AEW. And I have to say, you want to sign a guy like this, right? Everyone wants to sign Cesaro, Claudio, whatever name you want. You want to sign him. And we know Tony's a fan. There's a tweet from 2010 him talking about him being a fan. So you imagine being able to sit down with a guy like this and saying, here's the deal. The money is the same. I would like you to choose between the following. You could either be in AEW. We're going to have bigger crowds, bigger television ratings. The exposure is way bigger. The roster is more stacked for those kind of matches you want to have. But your position in the card will be a little lower. You'll be featured. We have plans for you, but you're not going to be, world champion. Mm-hmm. Or, on the contrary, same money, go to Ring of Honor, and though you have less, people in the buildings and the television exposure is less, you'll be the guy in that brand. And you basically give talent an option.
You can still pop up in AEW a little
exactly, bit. Exactly, right? And you could literally, you could basically treat it as, we can revisit this in a year. We can switch it, you can change at any point. But I have to say, I really think that is an interesting wrinkle to this.
Especially for the woman, for me.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, and you and I talk about Gresham a lot. I don't think John Gresham's looking to be a guy that stands around in backstage vignettes for AEW, but if you can have him under your umbrella and he can still
loves
do
ROH.
Right. And this is where I don't know, guys. I really think if you use the comparison of like 2015, 2016 NXT, what that was for WWE, I think there's something to this because there were some guys that were a better fit for NXT than Raw and SmackDown, and they couldn't help themselves. They ruined those guys. I mean,
look at Big Boy Ciampa now.
Yeah, I just think there's something really interesting to say about that. So yeah, I had Ring of Honor too. Him as the top guy, or alongside Gresham as how good would that match be, right?
Good Lord, they would beat the living hell out of each other.
I think this is fair to say, but I'm intrigued on you. Like, if Ring of Honor's big match for this year was Claudio and Gresham, that's better than anything Impact, MLW, NWA can produce, right?
Did you see what Impact's main event is for Sacrifice this weekend?
Yeah, I know. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they're currently probably the third promotion. They're more GCW. Ring of Honor's, there's an opportunity here, right?
For those who don't know, it's Moose versus Heath Slater.
Yeah. Well, he's just Heath, isn't he, in that Impact?
Well, he can't use Slater.
I know, but it feels like you could have come up with a different, just rather than just being Heath. I don't know.
Hater.
There you go.
Oh, good Lord.
It's a big match. Big match.
Okay. I have a couple of names here as well that you didn't mention. I need a Kenny Omega match with him once Kenny's back. I need that. And Hangman Page, of course. Yeah. I mean, you could even do a triple threat with them, to be honest, if you wanted to. I don't think that they would.
Yeah, but they don't really do those, right?
I wish they would.
Yeah.
I think they're really interesting, especially with how sparingly they're used.
That's fair. I know that the late night Grin legend Confirmed Shoot, he got a little bit emotional when he started talking about Hangman and Cesaro. He was like, forget the rankings, just do it. Do a title match now. He got fired up. So I think you're on saying that. I mean, they would beat the shit out of each other, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Good Lord.
Yeah. There's a lot of matches. Good.
Have Mr. CM Punk.
The cult of personality, CM Punk.
Yeah. Once Punk gets to heel Punk, boom, you do it. I think we get heel Punk after this. I really hope MJF is the one to turn Punk heel.
I think he may be. I have to say, and I'm going to get into this more later, but I have to talk about this now because you brought him up.
Okay.
That angle they did on Wednesday was about as good as professional wrestling gets. I want everyone to go back and watch this particular moment. This is wrestling, Jaychele, okay? In my mind, if you said, what is wrestling? This is wrestling.
Okay.
I want you to listen to the crowd when the babyface is saved Punk after he's bleeding and he's got the dog collar around his neck. There is this scream. There is this release of emotion and excitement and desperation and urgency that is like the kind of thing that wrestling used to do regularly that honestly doesn't ever do now. And I think we both like modern wrestling, right? I think there's a lot of good in modern wrestling.
I only watch modern wrestling.
Right, of course. And there's a lot of good in it. So I'm not doing one of those old guy things. But this CM Punk MJF thing is they've done a hell of a job.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of think it's AEW's best feud ever.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? I don't know. I think it is.
I just don't think I'm that high on this like everybody else is. Being honest, I don't enjoy nuance as much as other people do. But that's because I'm a simpleton.
No, not necessarily. I get you.
I like my wrestling with my wrestling.
Yeah, I get that. So is some of the segments a little bit too like acting for you, a little bit too performative? You'd rather it just be,
I liked when Punk was bleeding and MJF wiped it on his chest, but sometimes it's a little too much talking for me. Like at the beginning when like at first the first promo was great, but then they just kept doing it. And I was like, okay, I need a little something different. I hate lore. Lore. But this is a big time match, yeah.
I understand that. There's a lot of kind of, it's drama and I can see kind of getting bored.
Is Kenny and Hangman.
I get that. It feels more like that doesn't feel so much like a feud as it does one wrestler's arc. Does that make sense? Like their actual feud wasn't to me the same, but that's just me. I don't disagree with you necessarily. I had to mention that segment because I just thought they nailed it on Wednesday. So, but yes, to your point, Claudio and Punk would be tremendous. Go ahead.
I just have two more names. Sammy Guevara. I think Sammy and even Darby. I didn't have Darby's name down, but I would even put Darby in there. They both would put their bodies on the line. They would do an amazing swing. All those spots that Cesaro was breaking out when he was doing the match with Seth, even though I know you don't like Seth, they could be done but better. And I also have Orange Cassidy. I just think that's an interesting dynamic. Have him do the kicks. Cesaro look at him like, who the fuck do you think I am? And then swing the shit out of him and do the thumbs up. Boom.
They've known each other for a long time too. So that would be pretty cool. I have this really weird... I have this fascination with, like, if you did the Ring of Honor thing the way that I pitched it, and like in a year, 18 months, 2 years' time, imagine doing the big invasion angle, and like you have like Ring of Honor OG. So you have like imagine a faction
Honor
like,
no more.
No, so imagine that concept, but instead with like Punk, Danielson, and Claudio. Like, could you imagine that?
Oh my god!
And you'd have to like. Obviously, I'm just this is a loose outline. I haven't got any idea here, but I think there is some really cool stuff for this. I'm glad you did AEW kind of slash Ring of Honor because I think we both agree like this is an opportunity, and in about 2 months we could just look back and be like, that was a waste of our time, but.
You know what I think they should do? They should make a group with Punk, Danielson, and Joe and call it Honor is Elite.
There you go. I would call it Making Joe Happy. Honor no law.
That's a good one.
There you go. I have to, by the way, I remember that we do like super grins around here.
I was just thinking about that too.
Frank actually sent one on Wednesday, but no one else has access to it, which I should probably fix at some point. He says it will forever pop me how TK books AEW like he's playing TEW, or how factual that is. Very funny. It's a lot harder to buy a promotion on there, though, to be honest. Have you ever played TEW, Jaychele?
No, but I kind of know what it is because of you guys.
Yeah, that made me feel even more like a dog than I usually do.
I didn't mean to do it, but
I know. That's what made it worse. Like, you was nice about it, and it felt... If you'd have just dunked on me, I'd have almost felt better about it, you know? Let's do that again. Okay, ready? Do you know what TEW is, Jaychele?
Only because you dorks play it.
Yeah, I'm a fucking dog. There you go. All right. You can send your own super chat. I understand. I don't want to really push it too much in this couple of weeks because, like, God bless these people. They raised $2,000. That's wild, right? God bless them. So I don't want to... I don't want to hit that drum too often, but you can do that. Streamlabs.com/late-night-grin. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the segment that we have to do every week, about 40 minutes. Impact. Have any ideas for Claudio and Impact?
I wrote something down for this specifically. Let me read this. Do we really need to talk about this? Anything besides the X division is a waste, as always.
Fair.
I'm going to read that every single time we get to this point now.
It's difficult because every time I try to approach it with like optimism, you know? Like I look at the roster and I'm like, well, maybe there's something here. And then I look at it and I'm like, no, there's nothing new here. It's the same every week. I think the obvious point is this. Factual. I think the obvious point is this. If Josh Alexander has actually left, he just becomes Josh Alexander. Claudio does if you sign him. If not, you may actually have a great main event match with those two, both on the roster. The hilarious option, Jaychele, is that Claudio comes in as the new leader of Honor No More.
Not.
And explains that he left Ring of Honor 12 years ago.
You know what I can do now, Joe? Do you know what I can do now?
You can throw me off. Oh, now look. Now
Shut up, Joe. I know how to work StreamYard.
Well, I saw otherwise. That was,
Joe, don't even.
There was 12 Patreon cancellations. People said, I can't believe that Jaychele messed up the overlay in between. Cancelled. I'm out of here.
Did you even watch the stream live? No.
I did not. No.
Were you there to be with us? No. You can't say anything because you didn't teach me.
That's factual. Yes, indeed. It's my fault. Okay. Yeah, the X Division thing is such a shame. I wish it wasn't that way.
Chris Bay's going to GCW, so I'm happy.
Hey, can I ask you a serious question about Chris Bay?
Yeah.
And I say this with all love because I can relate if so.
Are you trying to disrespect me here? Is that what's going to happen? Is
he kind of bad at Twitter?
Who do you mean?
Like, it kind of seems like he might be bad at it, like he kind of he shows up on my timeline sometimes and it seems like people are dunking on him and I kind of worry about him a little bit.
I don't see that stuff. I just see him posting nice quotes.
I saw a tweet the other day that was like, your favorite wrestler watches Impact, and people were just...
Oh, he did say that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's tough. I mean, I don't think Samoa Joe watches any wrestling, let alone Impact.
Well...
Chris Bay follows JJ.
Chris Bay doesn't follow me.
That fucking rules.
JJ, I will no longer be bringing your comments up onto the screen until Chris Bay follows me.
I like this idea. I think a debut on Rampage, a live Rampage, would actually be awesome.
It's right before the pay-per-view, too, so that crowd will be hot. And normally their Rampages before pay-per-views don't always go so well.
No.
Like, that last one was not...
That was bad.
As fire as I was expecting.
Yeah, that was like maybe the worst episode of Rampage they've done, honestly.
And their fucking women's match is Serena Deeb again.
Shoot's got to review that again. So he gets so mad about Serena Deeb 5-minute challenge.
Dude.
It is kind of boring, I ain't gonna lie.
Do you know that you could put an actual women's match there? You could give me Red Velvet versus, I don't fucking know, anybody else?
So, this is very funny, Shoot, but in all seriousness, I was very suspicious of when, the way they kept saying a tune-up match, I was like, what does that mean? They made a point of it. I was like, oh, but it's going to be, who would be the funniest person it could be? Josh Alexander? Imagine they came back from the break, keeping his entrance, and it cut to the ring, and it's just Josh in the corner, like waiting for his intro, like a local guy. That'd be wild.
Did you hear?
Yeah, there's nothing in Impact. Yeah.
You don't like Serpentico?
I didn't hear. Oh no, I love it. He's been on the show, not this show, the other show. He's a really good guy. I actually, folks, kayfabe, but he did a podcast for like 2 hours with that mask on. And when we finished that thing, he couldn't fucking wait to get that thing off his head. God bless him. I felt terrible for him.
Is he your real life friend?
No, he does follow me though. One time I tweeted a clip of Powerhouse Hobbs eviscerating him with a spine buster, and I have to say I felt pretty bad when he replied, Joe, question mark. I was like, oh man, he follows me. I forgot I shouldn't have done that. He's a very good guy. Him and Luke for both. Okay. They're the only wrestlers I know. Be very clear about that.
I don't believe that.
It's not true.
Okay. His name is not allowed to be mentioned anymore. He is a member of Control Your Narrative. My fandom for him has ended. Don't tell him that. He follows me, I think.
He's about to be signed.
To Control Your Narrative?
No, he did a promo last night, Dark. He's going to be one of the guys they signed to the Ring of Honor brand. I'm pretty sure of this. So he'll be okay. He won't have to take those bookings anymore, is what I'm saying.
If he doesn't take them anymore, I'll be his friend again.
That tone was horrible. Why did you do that? Oh my god, that was amazing. Okay. Is there anything else in Impact?
No, I said if it's not the X Division, it's a waste.
Do you think we should pre-record an Impact segment and we just don't say any names? We just talk kind of vaguely.
We did here.
But we wouldn't we could take a 5-minute break and just go, okay, Impact, hit the clip, and we just let it roll. And
every single time? I think
and we'll just be like, a match with Ace Austin and Chris Bay would be good, but Moose is the champ, and we'd just kind of
I think we've done that every single time. So we could literally take a clip from one of the other episodes and just put it in here.
Yeah. And because they do the intergender wrestling, you can't even avoid it when you're talking about the women, right? You have to still, they could wrestle,
Jordan Grace and, and Jordan Grace and maybe Alicia, I guess, get thrown around.
That Jordan Grace, Matt Cardona stuff has actually been really fun.
It's actually good. That match was actually good.
It's kind of some of the better stuff they're doing right now, which, you get what you get.
Tasha won again. If Tasha doesn't win, I now have access to the StreamYard. I can play what I want here, so I will be playing the clip of me cheering or crying.
That's good that you can do that, yes. I thought you were going to... I don't do anything. I still haven't uploaded the one that I've been posting on Twitter all week. You could even post this if Tasha doesn't win.
Why is it so long? That's what she said.
I just can't. I just can't believe. I can't imagine being at any point in my life where I just would just start recording myself doing that. It's fucking awesome. Okay, New Japan.
I thought this was the only plausible option besides AEW.
Really? Do you have a creative idea for him? Or is it just he goes to New Japan? Because I have no problem if that's all it is. Because
that's all that I have, to be honest.
I have this fascination with him in Suzuki-gun. Could you imagine? Yes, we'll do that, Mad King 1984. Yeah. Yes, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'd actually be shocked.
I think I would actually cry though, so I don't think I'd be able to do it live. It'd have to be recorded.
I know this is a disaster, and everyone's gonna scoff at me, but I legit would be stunned if Becky won that match. Now, could I see Becky getting the belt back quickly? Yes, but WrestleMania.
La 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 la. Right? I know, but don't.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, hang on a second.
That's gonna make me sad thinking about it. You're gonna play a clip, aren't you?
I would just like to explain. I've tried to explain these Skip Bayless clips to people at work, and they think it's the dumbest thing ever. I felt owned. Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty funny though, right? The way that he's lip.
But you do it all the time. You play it out.
I've missed 4 days here. Let me play the hits.
Oh anyway, my god, get the band back together. I guess
the Suzuki-gun thing is fun because I want to see him in one of those funny track suits that are really cool that I always wanted. He could answer the
buy one.
No. He could answer the USFJ Open Challenge. Jay White and Claudio would be awesome.
Yes.
I have one last.
Fred Yehi.
Oh, he better get signed now. If they start signing guys to Ring of Honor and he doesn't get a contract, you and I are going to have to go and fight someone. I'm going to be real mad. How are we going to fight? I swear, listen, I mean this with love. I'm not going to name names. There are people out there with contracts that are like that. And Fred hasn't got one. Horse shit. I have one big swing here, one big pitch that you're going to hate, but will make me happy. Before I give that, do you have anything else to say about the potential destinations for one Claudio Castagnoli?
No, all the other ones don't make sense. He's not going to MLW. He's not going to NWA. Maybe he'll do a fucking GCW thing just to pop himself though.
I think he could do that.
But that's where I always get to my, GCW to pop themselves thing, and I always act like I'm right, just like I did with Swerve. So I think he also should start calling himself Ravioli. Or Cannoli.
Okay.
Claudio Cannoli. There you go.
You ready for my big pitch?
I guess.
Billy Corgan, this is your chance. This is a moment in time, Jaychele. You need to fly to wherever you need to fly. You need to buy whatever dinner you need to buy. You need to sit down with Claudio Castagnoli and try to figure out a deal. There is not a wrestler in the world today better suited to being the NWA World Champion than Claudio. Everyone wants him to win a world title. He never did it. He probably won't if he goes to AEW. He definitely won't if he goes back to WWE. He looks the part. He looks fucking awesome in a suit. He could do a genuine, honest-to-God world tour as champion and have great matches everywhere. You could get him booked in Japan. You could get him booked at PWG. Hell, you could get him booked at GCW, as you just said. He would be, honestly, an incredible choice for the NWA champion. Do I think this will happen? Do I? Hell. I have about as much chance of being the NWA champion. They do the business the way they do it. However, I really believe, Jaychele, this is a chance for them. He would be awesome with that belt. I really do believe that. Am I nuts?
Yeah. Your idea. I mean, your idea sucks, and it feels like it encourages teenage drinking because I'm not. Yeah, I'm not there for that. Darius Lockhart or bust.
Yeah, I don't know.
Darius Lockhart or bust.
But he's like a junior on there. Have you seen how weird he
Darius
is?
Lockhart or bust.
I actually think the Pope is going to win it, which is interesting.
As long as it's somebody black, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah. Do you remember when they did that tweet for like? Did they do it for last year's Black History Month when they did the thing of like there's only been one Black NWA and they did it like it was like a celebratory thing. People were like, it's not real, you fucking idiots. It was wild. Yeah, they're an interesting brand. They're a very white brand, aren't they?
Questions. I mean, my first question is like, do you meaningfully book yourself to look racist? Like, I don't understand.
Right? I mean,
no more questions.
I don't want to assume anything, Jaychele, but I do get the sense that much of their audience that post YouTube comments under their videos of this is the wrestling I remember, this is real wrestling. They have a different view on it than you and I, maybe.
I mean, they probably would hate the fact that I'm able to say my opinion online, so
factual.
For multiple reasons.
They would like me, probably.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm British. No, they would like Shoot, Jack, Oracle. They'd love Oracle. You know,
I think they would love Bob. They see Bob in his cowboy hat, they go, we like him. As long as he doesn't start talking, they go, we like him.
Bob is fascinating, isn't he? Because you're right. Visually, Bob fits the bill. He could actually be the NWA champion. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Matt Cardona, Robert O'Neill at WrestleMania weekend. Book it. But he's a little bit too. His opinions
looks like their last champion. I forgot his name.
Trevor Murdoch.
There you go. Did I lie? Is that wrong?
No, you didn't lie. That rules.
Oh my god. Does Bob know who he is?
Yeah, he knows. Bob doesn't watch any wrestling, but he's enough on Twitter that he knows who everyone is. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, I'm telling you, I think this is a good idea. I really do. I think it's a good idea. I don't think it will happen, but I think it would be fun. Now,
I like the idea of Black people creating a promotion that's titled "Fight the Narrative."
Fight the narrative. That feels like a waste of everyone's time, though, doesn't it?
I don't know. I mean,
feels like everyone should just ignore this thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck you.
Wow, you've really tested your kind of vocal range this evening. Is that something you've been working on in my absence?
I guess so. I'm taking tricks and tips from Alex, in his experience as a podcaster. He does lots of voices. So, I'm just trying to expand the range.
I know that's true, but God, that sounded funny, didn't it? It sounded like he was like a stand-up on here. I mean, he is.
He kind of is, yeah.
He is actually. Yeah. It's just this. I mean, I'll never like Alex is. He's so. Wow, that's incredible. He's a great guy, Alex. But I've said this to him before. I don't watch wrestling podcasts, so I actually had seen very little of him in action, and I have to say. Okay, I'm very excited by something I've just been informed of. I have to say that I see him reviewing NXT when you remember that show they did where like Regal had Joe sign the contract to become a wrestler again.
Yeah.
And I was so fired up by that. I was I'm going to watch this fucking review, and it was Alex on his own reviewing this. And like the Fightful reviews, they do like there's like 1,000 people watching live. Fucking Alex does the whole segment back and forth doing like Regal's voice.
He has Kate now, but it used to be hilarious. It still is.
Right, and they're a great team. But it just popped. I was like, man, this guy is incredible. He's quite great. So go follow Alex.
Did we just see the same things that made you excited?
No, I just saw that this had been added to the StreamYard. Ready for this? This is the brand new season premiere of the latest Skip Bayless masterpiece. Jaychele, I promise this is funny. I promise.
Fuck!
I promise. Ready? Here we go.
Facts, all caps with 3 exclamation points, and then 100 in red, as in keep it 100.
Okay, I need to explain this slightly. He's reading a tweet, and like, rather than just saying the words, he feels the need to like actually do like a play-by-play of the exact tweet. Him explaining the emoji is fucking incredible. 100 in red. 100 in...
Can you play it again?
Yes, there was a day where... I'll explain up, but here we go. Again, he's reading the tweet here, folks.
Okay.
Facts, all caps with 3 exclamation points, and then 100 in red, as in keep it 100.
As in keep it 100.
What? So the day that I saw this, Shoot sent it to me.
Congrats, RJ City.
I'll play the other one. I think, yeah, Jaychele, I'm saying that for the main event. So, Shoot sends me some popping. I tweeted it a couple of times, and everything Bob texted me that day, I just replied, red, 100 in red, 100 in red. I just get replying. He was getting real mad. He was upset about baseball and Alexa Bliss and God only knows
baseball?
What else. Bob, apparently. Ready for this one, Jaychele? This one, I think this will pop you even more. Ready?
Okay.
A lot shorter, but lock in for this one.
Suckers. Suckers.
Is he supposed to be Booker T? Ay.
It's fucking awesome. Okay. Anyway, enough about the NWA title. Jaychele, who are we covering next week on the free agents?
Toni Storm.
Oh, there you go. Toni, what's the deal with her no compete? Are we looking at end of this month for it?
I would feel like it. Let me see. She's taking bookings in Dallas, so I would think so. She's at WrestleCon, I want to say.
Yeah, so I think she left like the week after Christmas. So yeah, she probably wrestled around that time.
Yep.
And I have to say, and I think you would agree with this, it's more fun a lot of time with the women because Impact is more of like an option, it feels
Yes,
like.
We wouldn't have to play the clip for them.
Yeah, exactly. Toni Storm, there you go, folks. Another major free agent. AEW is currently signing talent at such a rate that I'm concerned about this show's longevity, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Unfortunately,
they've only signed one person, we've said. And I feel like we may or may not have missed an opportunity not doing Jeff Hardy this week, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I can't believe we didn't do Buddy Matthews. I can't believe I'll be totally transparent. I thought we had a lot of time to be able to do that episode, so I was like, oh, whatever. And he signed. Piece of shit. Maybe okay. So next week's Toni Storm. Okay,
Meltzer reported this, so I'm not sure how far it's going, but it seems like that may be possible.
A lawsuit?
Yeah, because contract tampering. Because Jeff already said that he's going to AEW, but if no contract is signed, then
they're all tampering. Pieces of shit. Wrestling promotions. All right. Jaychele, do some promotion. You had a big interview drop here a couple of hours ago. Floor is yours.
Yeah. I've been Jaychele. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Jaychele Nicole, JayCheLeNicole. I may or may not be reading that off the screen because my name is hard sometimes. I'm not a good speller. But you guys can also check out my interview with Big Swole. That's out now. You guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search up Jaychele Nicole. It'll be there, along with my Ricky Starks interview and my Tasha Steelz interview as well. I may or may not be doing a Revolutions prediction show that will come out tomorrow sometime. So yeah, check that out if it does come out. Probably will. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Patreon.com/Jaychele for extra content. Yeah, cool stuff over there.
What's going on?
Oh, my book comes out next week.
Your book?
I really should keep them over here, but I don't. Yeah, go look at my Twitter and search up Unbossed. It'll be over there.
Wow, what's going on?
Yeah.
Next week could be a fun one, Jaychele. Next week may just be a fun one. I'm back in the feature game. We're going to have something out next week, I think. As far as podcasting go, I'll be back here in about 5 hours. 5 hours to do the late night Grin.
You do this to yourself. I love it.
we have a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on. This is one of the bigger episodes, I think. So that's happening. I think I've subtitled that Grin of Honor, which I was pretty proud of.
Yeah, I might come crash it.
There you go. We're going to do Rampage, Revolution, and then Ring of Honor. So a lot to talk about. That'll be 4 hours of filth over there at latenightgreen.com. Sign up for just $1. Then, as far as next week, I don't yet know what we're doing with Revolution because I need to figure out everyone's schedules. So we'll see. But we're going to do a Revolution review in some form or fashion on Monday. And then we'll be back to the normal schedule with, Tuesday, T-Dub and Dark and all this good stuff.
Are we supposed to do something with the WCW shows too? Because we kind of promised people something.
Yeah, we'll do something like that. That should be. I think that'd be a good paywall content.
Yeah.
Okay. Folks, you know what they say? Late Night Grin is red hot, and we say to that.
Facts, all caps with 3 exclamation points, and then 100 in red, as in keep it 100.
Joe, can we do it?
Sacrifice? Why?
Tasha. If Tasha wins.
Yeah, okay.
Fair.
God damn it. Right. This hit the outro, folks. Jaychele wave. Say goodbye to everyone. Bye. Tony's
Bye.
still
Fuck
next week.
you.